Falafla, you're listening into Radio Sunshine's news bulletin for today. This morning, Premier Tokitalangi announced his ministers that will make up the cabinet and steer the country forward for the next 3 years. Newly elected Speaker of the House, Tonga Valupingia, presided over the swearing-in ceremony held at the Falefono foyer for the newly appointed ministers. After years of supporting the Tokitalangi government and working from the sidelines, member for Avasele, Billy Talangi, has finally secured a position as a cabinet minister. In addition, the member for Alofi South, Honourable Dalton Tangilangi, has also proven his worth, being selected along with veteran politician, member for Liku Porotoa Sipeli, maintaining his ministerial position. In addition, taking on board assisting roles are Kupa Mangatungia, Joan Biliamu and Dalaisi Tamatalaisi. With these final appointments confirmed, the focus now can be directed towards government's move forward for national developments. The Niue Golf and Sports Club Easter Tournament was held over 2 days, from Friday 18th to Saturday the 19th of April. A total of 23 members took part in the tournament, some of them club favourites like Taumawhai Fuhiniu. Even though he's not as sharp as he used to, he is still consistent with his straight down the fairway shots from most tee-offs. That's put pressure on young players. He did very well to come second or runner-up on best gross for the 2 days, with the overall winner with the best gross scores going to Dustin Pulu. The other main prizes of overall best net went to Kala Ongoto, and overall best Stapleford score went to Michael Jackson, and the overall least putts went to Michael Jackson. The runner-up prizes with the runner-up best gross, that goes to Taumawhai Fuhiniu, runner-up best net to Tomasiri, runner-up for best Stapleford to Whengo Kulasea. The second runner-up best gross went to Takili Talangi, second runner-up best net to Haven Siosikefu, second runner-up Stapleford to Brent Ioane. The next club game will be the Anzac competition to be held on Saturday, 26th of April at 1 p.m. Moving on to our news stories from the region, the Pacific Republic of the Marshall Islands, scene of massive U.S. nuclear tests in the 1950s, sued the United States and 8 other nuclear-armed countries on Thursday, accusing them of failing in their obligation to negotiate nuclear disarmament. The Pacific country accused all 9 nuclear-armed states of flagrant violation of international law for failing to pursue the negotiations required by the 1986 Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. It filed one suit specifically directed against the United States in the Federal District Court in San Francisco, while others against all 9 countries were lodged at the International Court of Justice in The Hague, capital of the Netherlands. A statement from an anti-nuclear group backing the suit said. Issues of fair and proportionate distribution of UN funding to Fiji and Pacific Island countries has come to the fore during the UNDP, UNFPA and UNOPS executive board's visit to the country. And countries in the Pacific are putting their hands up for a bigger slice of the UN pie. But Fiji's permanent representative to the United Nations, Peter Thompson, says they are focused on fair distribution, keeping in mind that Pacific Island countries are some of the biggest aid receivers per capita. He also pointed out that Pacific Island countries had special problems which had to be accounted for when talking about fair and proportionate distribution of funds. He also said the location of UN officers in the region made it all the more important to get aid distribution correct. U.S. President Barack Obama said United States is playing a leading role in the Pacific and would be obligated to defend Tokyo in a confrontation with Beijing over a set of disputed islands, but urged all sides to resolve the long-running dispute peacefully. U.S. deepening ties with emerging powers like China, India and Indonesia as part of its long-term commitment to Asia. The United States seeks prosperity, where trade and investment leads to broad-based economic growth and nations play by the same rules. Responding to a question on China, Obama said the new model of relations the two countries seek is based on his belief that they can work together on issues of mutual interest, both regionally and globally, and that both the nations have to resist the danger of slipping into conflict, which is not inevitable. Barack Obama and Shinzo Abe were discussing the future shape of the Japan-US security alliances as they met for talks at the start of the president's tour of a tense Asia. The coronial inquest into the missing Papua New Guinea scientists from the Institute of Medical Research has concluded that the officers did not perish in bad weather but in foul play. After 3 months of interviewing 54 witnesses, the inquest has concluded from the evidence before it that all the male officers are believed to be dead except one, while the 2 female officers' fate is still uncertain. The coronial inquest found that 8th person Jerry Wani may still be alive and is hiding in West New Britain. Coroner Lawrence Kangiwai said the inquest had identified the body of the boat operator Peter Divu Koikoi, which had been in the waters of Manus and buried there, while the rest are still unaccounted for. Kangiwai said in the findings for all the male IMR scientists that from the evidence available and on the back of various conclusions reached, they are not alive. As to the circumstances surrounding the deaths, they did not arrive at their deaths due to tragedy encountered in prevailing bad weather conditions at sea. He said for the 2 female scientists, there are possibilities that they could have been kidnapped and held captive, and whether they're still alive or dead is uncertain. The chairman of Fiji's Media Industry Development Authority says he will act on concerns that the Fiji Sun is flouting a government decree as soon as he receives an official complaint. Ashwin March has defended his decision to censure Fiji TV for broadcasting so-called hate speech. Earlier this month, MEDA ruled Fiji TV had breached the constitution and the media decree for airing certain comments by a provincial chief during a visit by the Prime Minister. Opposition politicians have complained that the Fiji Sun has run a number of articles which report on the election campaigning of Admiral Frank Bainimarama, despite him not yet having a registered party. Raj says he will treat any complaint seriously. Plans are underway for the formulation of a treaty for the Melanesian Spearhead Group's traditional knowledge and expression of culture. To pursue this, a national consultation on the Melanesian Spearhead Group Framework Treaty on the protection of traditional knowledge and expressions of culture was opened on Thursday. Fiji's Ministry of Education, Culture and Heritage Deputy Secretary Apisalame Movono delivered the opening remarks at the consultations and pointed out the need to protect and promote the cultures of MSG member countries and groups. He reminded participants that a strong need exists to protect those cultural traditions that are unique to MSG nations or groups. Hundreds of workers imported from Pacific Islands to provide labour for the fruit harvest in Hawke's Bay orchards have started heading home in an earlier than usual end to harvesting in the region. But most will be back, according to Immigration New Zealand, and employers wrapped with the success of the recognised seasonal employment scheme once feared as potentially robbing New Zealanders of thousands of jobs and millions of dollars in wages. Now, fruit growers who believe they might have gone under had it not been for the stability of offshore labour market has provided, saying there's confidence to invest. There will be more work for New Zealanders, and the industry is on track to achieve some of the heady goals set by its leaders. The impetus has come from a scheme that allows for up to 8,000 workers to be sourced in mainly Pacific Island regions to meet peak demands unable to be met from the domestic labour force. And those are our stories from the region as well as our local news bulletin here on Radio Sunshine for today.